Well, Beta won't sell us the 300 Xtrainer Race Edition, so we're gonna build our own. Let's go.
So the first step to making our own Race Edition cross trainer is we're gonna need to get this thing squeaky clean so we can work on it without getting absolutely disgusting. Now let's roll it into the shop here and get it set up so we can tear this bike down. Now it's time to start disassembling. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna pop off the seats. We got a couple plastics here to pull off. And then we're gonna pull the headlight out and remove the actual headlight housing from the plastic itself. Then we're gonna start by removing the front fender here and fishing that out between the two front forks. Then we're gonna pull off that beautiful P-Tech skid plate here. And we got the OEM radiator shrouds here. We're gonna pull a couple of those guys, a little bit tight to get them out, but we get them out there. We got the gas tank here, we'll pull that out quickly, pull that vent tube right out of the frame. Now this next part here, this is something I recommend that anyone does to a bike, especially if you get it brand new, is to put some PPF frame wrap on. This stuff keeps your bike looking absolutely fresh and is definitely worth it. My bike looks absolutely brand new. There's no micro scratching or anything on the frame since we did this, since I had the bike at the very first beginning. And it's well worth it for the price. It's a couple bucks, put it on there, keep your stuff looking squeaky clean. Next we got the side boot covers here, frame protectors, pull those guys off, reveal a bit more trash in behind it, we'll get that figured out. Pull that rear wheel off, pull it over to the front, we're gonna pull those wheels off because they're looking a little tired. The OEM red rim wrap has been beat up for a little bit of time here, so it's time we get rid of that stuff. We're gonna go back to the solid black rims and clean that up. There's a lot of goo left behind, so we'll hit them with some Gummy Gone and spend a few hours cleaning up these wheels, but they'll come out looking really nice. Then we got some of these Cypra Pro Bend handguard shields. We're gonna pull those off. They're getting pretty tired, pretty cracked, pretty beat up, but they've definitely saved my hands and are well worth it. Next, we just got the stock OEM pegs, which look like accordions at this point. They've done the job. They're no longer sharp and they're bent to hell, so we'll get rid of those. Then we got a couple decals. We're gonna get this thing looking a little naked here. She's gonna have no body panel stickers on her. She's gonna get a whole new fresh identity after we're done with her for today. And we're gonna hammer on a little 8mm here onto the chain guide. It's been chewed up from some rocks. And we're gonna pop off the master link, pull that off. And this is the original chain on here, so it owes me nothing at this point. We'll get that off and gone. And start popping off the rear subframe section and get this bike fully exposed so we can see what's going on with here. And man, there is just so much mud and stuff packed in every little crevice that you take off one part, you think you got all the mud and you don't, so you gotta take it back out, wash it, but pull the carburetor off. All right, so now that the bike's all been disassembled, we just threw the wheels back on it quickly so we can move the bike around a bit easier. Now it's time to start doing some of the fun stuff and putting the bike all back together with the new bling.
Now I want to give a huge thank you to today's video sponsor, Nice CNC. Now they make some of the best CNC parts for motorcycles, side-by-sides, quads, pretty much if it's got tires, they make stuff for it. Now they've sent out a bunch of stuff here for the beta, so let's go ahead and throw some of the sweet Nice CNC parts. Make sure you guys check out the links down in the description below if you want to check out their website and what they have available for your bike or machine.
So we ended up with a set of Enduro grips, and then we swapped over to some Cypra Pro brand handguard shields in the blue color. We swapped and got in a Nice CNC clutch cover reservoir, as well as the Nice CNC brake cover. Then we also put the Nice CNC foot pegs on, which are wicked, and the same Nice CNC drop down brake pad, which is super nice on this bike. Then we put in the Nice CNC rear brake master cover, just gives it a little bit extra little bling, looks really cool. And then we also put the stand foot on for the kickstand, which just gives you a larger footprint. Then we put the Nice CNC fuel tank cap on, super nice bling piece there, looks real great. And then finally wrap it up with that Nice CNC chain guide on it.
All right, now that we got the bike partially all together, I want to save the final sort of last look at it because it's going to look so sick here when we're done. So when we're finished here, we're going to have a 300 Race Edition Xtrainer. on the new race edition, baby.
Again, I just want to say thank you to Nice CNC for sending out those parts for this bike build. This is our stage 1 of the build, and there's gonna be more coming down the line, so look forward to that. But overall, very, very happy. Especially the pegs made an absolute huge game changer for me out on the trails. The old pegs I had on the original ones, they're just not very sharp. These ones are a little bit wider, and for me, having big boots, big feet, definitely makes it have a lot more traction, a lot more comfortable to stand on. And in combination with having that drop down foot brake, that foot brake makes it a game changer on this bike. Ever since I bought this bike, one of the biggest issues I had was that the stock foot brake would sit just a little bit too high, that it just made it uncomfortable almost to try and reach the rear brake in certain situations. And this drop down brake really just sits in like the perfect spot where I can keep my boot like rested over top of the brake. So I don't really have to move my foot a whole lot when I'm riding to try and avoid having my foot on the brake to accidentally hit it. It's just in the perfect spot all the time. So I absolutely love that. And pair that up with this brand new set of sweet graphics. The bike is looking absolutely incredible with all the bling blitz there. And I'm just super happy how this turned out. Honestly, the transformation of how this bike looks was absolutely incredible. And I'm just beyond excited on how it actually came out. I had a vision and I wasn't sure how it was gonna really look, but I knew that I wanted my bike to look like a race edition 300 Xtrainer if Beta were to sell it. I think this is exactly how people would want it to look, and it looks absolutely incredible. The only other things I'm looking forward to is swapping over to some front blue plastics that I had special ordered in that were supposed to be here for this build, but they just didn't show up in time. There were some issues with shipping, but overall, still very happy. Even with the red plastics on the front end of the bike, I still think it looks absolutely incredible. Super stoked with how this project came out, and I'm super excited to show you guys version 2 when we get to that step of the process. We also went ahead and deleted all the oil injection stuff, so we got rid of all the fluid in the tanks and all the lines and whatnot, and it just cleared up a bit of extra weight that's up high and a leaky oily mess, so very happy with that as well. And then we also went with a blue seat wrap, which I think in combination with the blue graphics and the blue handguards and the tidbits that we had done, I think it came out really well, and it blends in really well with the rest of the bike, and I think it flows excellently. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Did we kill it on this race edition Xtrainer 300? Does it look like what you would hope that Beta would sell you if you were able to buy one? I think the look of the 2023 race editions just looked so freaking cool, and I just want my bike to look like that. And I know I could have went out and I could buy a race edition bike if I really want that, but I really do love their Xtrainer platform, and I think it's just going to be the ultimate trail machine. So that's why I really wanted to start the process of converting this bike into like a true hard enduro race edition Xtrainer 300, but still have that slightly smaller frame size that just works so damn good in these tight little trails. But let me know what you think down below. Did we kill it or did we miss it? Let me know. Curious to see what you guys think. And special thanks to Timothy S for being a Patreon Pro subscriber. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Make sure down below, click like, click subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.